guys, welcome once again to Palegisto. So our topic today is sexual violence, and I'm going to first allow our guests to introduce themselves before we finally introduce the topic.
I'm Wendy.
I'm Bella.
Ryan.
Thank you so much and feel welcome. I'm sure our viewers appreciate that. So on sexual violence, first we have to know what exactly sexual violence is, and this is any attempt to obtain an act of sexual nature that is against someone's sexuality, regardless of your relationship with that person. First, I want you to underline the point, regardless of the relationship with that person. So, just to begin, what exactly are the types of sexual violence that people are likely to experience?
The first and common type of sexual violence is the sexual harassment, and that includes any sexual advances in public or in private. For example, hugging in public, someone attempting to kiss you in public against your will. Another one is giving sexual comments. For example, you're walking in the street, somebody is telling you the cloth hugged you right or God made you right. Those are type of sexual harassment. The second one, and the very common one, is the child defilement, and that usually occur for persons under the age of 18 against or with their will. So long as the person is under 18, that makes it a sexual abuse. And regardless of relation to that person, whether father, uncle, or a stranger, it's still a sexual abuse.
I also underline the word consent, very important. So as long as there is no consent in that, then it proves it as an act of sexual violence. So Belinda?
We have rape. Someone can, regardless of the gender, someone can want to have a sexual relationship with someone, but if you don't consent to it, we will term it as rape. A girl can be raped, a boy can be raped, anyone can be raped, so long as you have the sexual intercourse without one's consent. Then we have sexual abuse between intimate partners. You could have a relationship either between a husband and a wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, but one of the partners could force one into having a sexual act and the other person is not willing. Bottom line, consent. So that is also another type of sexual abuse.
Okay, wow. So like what you mean is, if I'm having my boyfriend or I'm married, and then someone attempts to, sometimes you can have conflict or you're just not in the mood, then you tell someone no, but then insist because I'm married to you, am I your boyfriend, and you do this thing. So if that happens, you touch me by force, I already said that that's violence.
Yes, that's sexual abuse.
And people should come out to speak about it because it happens and people are so
quiet about it because you are in the relationship. People will assume that you should be doing that.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you for that. Ryan, any other points on that?
Okay, when you talk of sexual violence, most of the people they want to behave immorally. Like you may find one abusing those people who are physically or mentally challenged. In short, those who are disabled. So you find when you arouse the disabled person sexually, that's a sexual violence. Then also, if you are under drugs or substance use, then those drugs, they drive you either to ruin your mentality or they change your mentality totally. You see another person as like you want to do something to him or her, then you are abusing that person sexually. So that's also sexual violence.
Oh, nice. Thank you guys on those points. And on Ryan, I noticed on the drug-induced sexual abuse, like so many young people, we go out drinking with the responsible companies. You go out there, mess yourself, like you get raped or someone just touches you inappropriately and you won't be aware. So let's drink responsibly. On that, as we underline the point. And secondly, about causes, because I can't avoid something if I don't know what causes it. So what exactly will lead to sexual violence as a person? Both male and female.
Yeah, the first one I know when that happens is drug abuse, drug and substance use actually. Because and this can happen to the victim or the person causing the act. The victim can be under a drug, or the person causing the act can be under a drug, and this can lead to sexual violence without the consent of the victim.
Belinda, any addition?
Social norms. I'll talk about social norms. There's a way that the society perceives, especially the male gender. The male gender are known to be the one who should be the ones inducing sex, even if the other gender is not. Even if
Like
the
it's
other,
always their right.
you have to be submissive. The female gender has to be submissive. So like the society has set that bar. So like the point is, I talked about relationships between married people or between a boyfriend and that one. Like in that case, someone like a husband can just defile the wife, but the society won't term that as wrong because that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what the society think it's right.
Yeah, and also people believe that it's the society that believe that it's okay for the man to abuse the wife.
Yeah.
Because you belong to him.
Yes.
Like something like that. I think this point about norms also applies to dressing.
Dressing.
Yes,
Sure,
yes,
sure.
yes. Because the society sometimes when a lady dresses in a very short dress, okay, like when I don't know if mine is too short, but then okay, like when now, if that happens to me, the society will just be blaming me
like
because
in a
I
case
should
you
dress
are
in a certain
raped, the society will say, but she was in a short dress.
What was she expecting?
What was she thinking?
Like I was calling for it.
Yeah.
Just guys, in case you were thinking of that, I'm not calling for anything. Just like dressing like this. Yeah, a very important point up.
So, like in consideration to my point, as I said earlier, the sexual violence, when you arouse someone that is disabled, you are already using the advantage of that person to violate that person, either sexually, maybe by touching him or her, or doing something. So, in short, my point is that when the status of someone can easily affect that person, that comes to a point where those who are in higher positions, like the rich, are arousing the poor. They're using that advantage of their statuses to arouse them sexually. Like maybe someone wants something, or someone is seeking for employment in an office. Then that person cannot even stand in for himself or cannot stand in for herself. So that person in the office that is maybe doing the interview or making the interview may require some favor. That is for ladies especially, it is sex. You see? Yeah. And if you request sex for someone in order to give him some favor, then also that's a sexual violence.
And it happens across modeling.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
across
industries.
all fields.
Music.
Yeah.
When you are talking about arousal, I was wondering, sometimes you can be raped or sexually for something like that. Let me talk about rape specifically. Then you get for men you can ejaculate. Like ejaculation, people perceive it as enjoyment. So if that happens in the process of rape, does it disqualify it as a rape? Because I enjoyed it. According to the person, it's rape.
It's not just a rape case.
Yeah.
It's just a rape case.
So long
just
as the
your
victim
body.
said no,
No
consent.
consent.
Because the
It's
body
rape.
will respond regardless.
Yeah.
That is how you're
True.
moving. Yeah.
Okay. So even if I'm raped, I can just maybe
see,
I can just respond and defend myself.
Yeah.
If I just tell you, like, if you consider rape, what is rape? If you consider rape is any form of sexual harassment whereby either the penis of a man, I'm sorry to say that, but the penis is either ejected to the vulva or any other, or the anus of a person,
True.
regardless of that person whether he or she needed it. That is rape. So for that, whether you ejaculate or not, that's just rape. Rape will just remain to be rape, or not defilation also.
Oh, okay. So about how can we prevent it? Now because I can just walk out and it happens. And then I start asking myself, what did I do wrong? Now how can I avoid getting myself in such situations?
I think the first one is that we should, I don't know if it's possible, but we should come up with an emergency call line. Like if I walk outside this place and I'm raped, what is the first thing I do? Because you can find there is no police station near that place. I can't walk because I've been raped. So what should I do the first thing? We should have an emergency call line that I call these people, I tell them their location, they come for me, they do the right procedures. The next thing is that the organizations that deal with the victims, we should have more of them. Because after the rape, you find that the victim is always stigmatized. It's very hard for you to come back to your normal life. Regardless of your age, even at 40, you find that you'll be living with that in your mind. So you should come up with more organization that encourages the victim. We teach them how to survive the rape, the defilement, the harassment. Those organizations should be more and more of them.
I agree, and just the way condoms are advertised, everyone knows that they exist. Even from the rural areas, these organizations should be advertised.
Yeah.
Because people from that area, you see, I think they get more defilements than even people from the town areas, because at least they're exposed.
Yeah.
So that advertising should be really done for those organizations.
In the upcountry,
For me, the perpetrators, like those people should be dealt with. We should not just let someone come and rape someone. You know, it's like you've violated someone else's right, and that is not right at all. These people should be dealt with accordingly. They should not just be let, you know, some people get raped and the perpetrators are left scot-free, like just like that. And you don't know how the other person is feeling. For me, the perpetrators should be dealt with accordingly. And then about the social norms that I was talking about, like we are living in the 21st century, guys. Like, why should the society allow such things to happen? Like, we should educate these people. They should know. They should know that this is not the way people should live.
So in short, we promote the norms that will protect us against these sexual violence acts.
Yeah.
Maybe in addition to that, we are just also urging the religions, the churches, the mosques, the temples, all those religions. They should also emphasize more on the youth upgrowing. You see, when someone is growing, you should also teach him the norms or all those sort of things that a person is supposed to have in there to avoid some incidents. You see something like sexual harassment. Maybe you are passing somewhere or you are boarding a matatu and then someone touches you. You see, those are most of the matatu
So
or the
sad.
conductors. Mostly they are in town. Then they see it like it's normal. So this child has been raised in maybe somewhere in a slum like Kibera, Kayole, and you know, if you consider people from Kibera, Kayole, they just see like if you do anything, it's just right at any age, at any.
And then again, we live in a society where people don't want to talk about sex. That's where we go wrong. We were not taught these things while growing up. So we grow up, we don't want to talk about sex. You'll find that someone was even raped, but that person can't come out to talk about it because we live in a society where sex is prohibited. You should not have sex until you're married and stuff. These things happen. I think we should talk about them.
And then those social media comments and there is harassment via social media and via internet. They should stop those things, You post your pictures and Indians are in your DM, like, we should stop those.
For real. I'm also a victim of that. I've ever received several videos from various Indian women.
I thought women didn't do that.
I looked at very notorious then.
For this, maybe we should just urge the government to try to minimize these social platforms. Like if you see in China for people like under the age of 18 or even the general, in China there is no WhatsApp in China. Then if there is these like Facebook, whatever you are chatting, it's social. Whatever you are chatting, there's nothing like inboxing me, like whatever you are chatting.
Like if I chat is social.
Everyone is able to access that information.
Only for under 18.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For under 18, it's okay. But I thought you were at my age.
for under 18. So like maybe to add something on prevention. Yeah, maybe if we might urge the government to train more professionals so that they can move around either in schools, in various institutions, public places, sensitizing about sexual violence, giving them training, life skills, bringing in life skills lessons to institutions, even in universities. You know, the problem in our country is like, in most universities we don't have life skills.
They assume you're good.
They are assuming the only thing that you are being taught is communications, studies. You see, but if they bring in life skills, if you are in campus, doesn't mean that you are mature enough to do these things. No, you should have to wait until the right time comes. If you touch someone, if you touch a girl, for instance, or a boy, without the girl's consent, if you're a university, you are harassing that, then you should be even jailed for that.
True.
Yeah. Then also maybe also to add on that, the government should also increase the society campaigns in sensitizing this about sexual violence, training people, those mamas, those gukas in the rural areas. They don't know anything about sexual violence, or those most of the youth that are not civilized in the rural areas. You see, like people from maybe West Pokot, those from interior, they only know of herding cattle. They only know of maybe, but they don't know much about this thing. When they come in town, when someone touches him, or when someone touches the person sees like, oh, this is just right, this is just normal, but it's not normal at all. So those campaigns, they should be moved into interior parts of the country.
And as we finish up, I think there is this point about, these things are continuing because the blame is being put so much on the victim that she or he led to this. But I'm thinking, if these things start by the perpetrator beginning to have this intention of hurting that other person. Because without the perpetrator, this won't happen. So I don't know if we share the same view, or what do you think actually that the victim is to blame when it comes to this, especially when you wear sexual attire and it happens to you?
First of all, the definition, what is the definition of that was too short or that was, it's all in the brain. There is nothing like she wore a very short dress or something. It's the person who was seeing her in that way. So at no any particular instance should you blame the victim. She suffered. The person satisfied himself. So the victim should not be blamed.
And let me give you this analogy. Remember the old times. What were people wearing? Skin.
Actually,
Yeah.
Who got raped?
Who got raped. So it's all in the brain. I was in a training actually, and we were being taught about that. And we were told, you can be with someone and you don't even get the arousal. The trainer was somewhere in Uganda and was saying that those ladies don't even wear anything. They just wear something to cover the front bit. But no one is raping the other. So if it's not in the brain, there's no way that it can happen. Yeah.
Then from my own perspective, I'll just stick on the same lane as she has said. Since there is a term called my dress, my choice. My dress, my choice. So what you wear is exactly what you want to wear. It's your choice. It's what you wanted. Then also sticking on the same, that people in the past, our ancestors, they used to wear nothing. But during that time, there are very, very rare rape cases. There are very rare cases of sexual harassment, touching someone beyond his or her, maybe, So, just a perspective from that the victim in either of circumstances should not be blamed at all, not even at all. So it's me and you to control yourself.
True.
Yeah, when you have become, or when you from your childhood, you should be taught everything. Religion, go through the religion, the Sunday school. You should have come with those good personalities. You should be a very good person. When you become in future, you can able to control your feelings with each and every. So your behavior can be stick on the lane.
Self-control.
Self-control.
Yeah, as we talk about the Bible, Quran, etc., let's also teach our kids these normal things that they will experience in life. And now, as we finish parting shot, because we talked about so many things, okay, just like a summary, maybe one sentence from each of us.
Okay, so sexual violence, it's just illegal. It's just illegal. You should not harass someone in any circumstance. Either you are drunk, either you have been you have taken that kukumanga. In any control, sexual violence is not allowed. That is just illegal. If you experience any form of sexual harassment, you have been touched, you have been hissed by someone, by a boda guy if you are a girl, if you have been sent a video about Pornhub from those guys, you have to report that to anywhere. That that's just illegal.
Mine is we should all be bold, talk about sex. If anything happens to you, seek help. Don't be afraid. Perpetrators, they should deal with you.
Amen.
With me, I want to encourage anyone who has been a victim before and has talked about it. I want to big up to you, and then I want to also say that to you who has not come out, speak about it. Come out here. We are here for you. We'll be here to encourage you. You who has gone through it, I wish you recover soon enough, and there is life after that. Just continue. There is a great life ahead.
Sure.
Okay, so I guess I have a parting shot as well. Dear perpetrators, as Belinda said, okay, that point was really nice to me. We just deserve, I don't even think jail is enough. But then let's avoid these things. Yeah. That's a very nice one. Exile, that can be a very good punishment for you. But please, let's delete all these thoughts from our minds and see just each other as our brothers and sisters. It doesn't mean you have to see everyone as a sexual partner. So just find someone that you can do that with and get satisfied with that.
And get the consent while at it.
Oh yeah, I forgot the consent part. Consent muhimu, very important. So thank you so much for watching, and keep it on. We will be coming up with other discussions on the same, since the topic is so huge. So till next time.